that's what I do. But sometimes it doesn't seem like
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Mary.
Another just gorgeous day. These fall days that we've been having are just so beautiful. It's like one after another. I want to welcome everyone to service today and everyone watching online as well. Thank you for being here. And we're going to begin with our prayer of the Children of Love song that is right in the front of your songbook. So if you would please join in, stand if you're able, and we'll sing together.
Father, Mother God, your kingdom come, your holy will be wholly done. Spirit, source of love, your children sing, flow through us now in everything. Every day, in every way, our prayer is this. Everywhere, let love be there, and so it is. Back to the top. Father, Mother God, your kingdom come, your holy will be wholly done. Spirit, source of love, your children sing, flow through us now in everything. Father, Mother God, your children pray, beloved in us in every way.
Before we begin our meditation, I just wanted to announce, for those of you who may not have seen it in the announcements, that our dear friend Robert Tingley has made his transition. Maybe most of you have already seen that, but we like to hold him in our hearts today. So we'll begin our meditation. If it's comfortable, close your eyes and begin to relax. And let's bring our minds down into our hearts, and maybe put your hand on your heart to keep your focus right in this sacred area, this sacred space within. Let's do our 3 deep fellowship breaths with an audible ah on the out breath. Let's breathe in. Breathe in. One more time. Breathe in. Let's bring our full attention to the one divine presence, the all-powerful, all-knowing, and everywhere present, loving source. We know that we have been, are, and will always be pure spirit, always available to our awareness, is a place of stillness, confidence, and security, where all is known and understood. This is the universal mind of God, our source, divine love that we are one with. We surrender, let go, and knowing that everything we need comes to us in divine right order. We remember fellowship member and dear friend Robert Tingley, who has made his transition. So let us join our hearts and hold Robert in the highest love and light. And let's take a moment of silence to remember and honor Robert. We live in peace, together in peace, knowing that all is truly well. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you so much. And now we have some very special music from our Corey Williams. Let's give him a warm welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm so glad that Bill introduced me to this song. It's called A Million Dreams from the movie The Greatest Showman. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams, a million dreams. With apologies to Hugh Jackman. I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. You can live in the world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of what one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build, every room inside is filled with things from far away. Special things I can buy, each one there to make me smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away in the world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. However big, however small, come and be part of it all. Share these dreams with me. I may be right, I may be wrong, but come and I'll bring you along to the world I see. to the world I close my eyes to see. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors in my head. A million dreams are filling me, a million dreams, a million dreams. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. For the world we're gonna make. For the world we're gonna make.
Beautiful, beautiful prayer. Thank you. Thank you so much. We're going to have a fellowship sign now. So I invite you all to stand. We're going to turn to page 38 and sing Spirit of Mine.
Spirit am I, the holy Son of God, sweet of all witness, save and heal and hold,
Free to forgive
and free to save
the world.
Makes me
To be a holy child of God. Peace to my sister, who is one with me. Let all the world be blessed with peace through me. This holy instant I would give to you. Be you in charge, for I would follow you. Certain that your direction gives me peace.
Please stay standing and give your neighbors a hug or handshake. Say hello.
Lucille.
And actually, I cheated it up because my voice was
Came up loud, but you softened some when you did your song.
so I thought that was give me a little cheat.
And then on your second song.
I never felt this way. I had like
Hey, Richard. See you. You doing all right?
Yeah.
Good.
Matthew. How are you? I had a cold being up north health. Oh, good, good. Oh, good. I was in a car accident, and I all went down. Apart from there, yeah, I had the driver. Everybody was like, oh, but I couldn't like get damage. So I was afraid of it. But it looks like they mechanic. Yeah, so, you know, and it was in the prison. I was just coming to the speedway like I was doing. And she came to stand me and I looked up and she was really good. Oh, good.
I had an idea, we could color 2 lines and they just like everybody.
I like the chaos better.
The chaos is much better.
It's fun. You never know who you're going to hug next.
Oh, good.
Happy to introduce our speaker today, Reclaiming Your Higher Self is the name of the title of his talk. So let's give Bill Diedrich a very warm welcome.
I think your voice is going to be good.
She said I'm loud enough.
I said it nicer than that now.
I can be pretty loud. I'll make sure I project that. The one that you wear, is that for online or is that for here?
It's
Here.
for online.
Okay. Okay. Reclaiming the self with a capital S, the higher self. So I'd like to start off by asking you to just sit quietly for a moment. And if it helps to close your eyes, do that, and go inside and take a look at what are you thinking about right now? What are the thoughts in your head? Non-judgmental. What's going on in your head right now? Just take a look at it. I'm not going to ask you to tell anybody. And also, what's going on in your body? What does your body feel like right now? Emotionally, physically? What's going on? All right, thank you. That's a real quick one. It's called awareness. Being aware. When you're doing that, if you did what I said, and I think you did, if you took a moment to look at what, you said, what am I thinking? And you looked at that. And you said, what am I feeling? And you looked at that. You allowed yourself to feel it. Then you were, in that moment, in the present moment. Because most of the time, we're not in the present moment. You were aware. You were awake during that time. And that's a lot of what this talk emphasizes, is the importance of that. So let me tell you a short story of the beginning of one. We, Peggy and I, were at the east side of the state visiting family, and we were driving home a week ago Friday, and we hit the Flint area, and construction was there, traffic was piling up, we had to slow down, and suddenly my car didn't want to shift. And so I had to pull off, fortunately pulled off the expressway, and we couldn't find any place to go, so we just found a parking lot, because I could only go 5 miles an hour. The short story of it is, we got the car towed to Okemos, to the Ford dealer there, because it's a Ford Escape. 145,000 miles on it. I've never had a problem with it. Replaced tires and battery, that's it. It's been a great car, but it's not working at this moment. So I got it into the dealership, and I found out that, well, they sent me a text. You need a new transmission. That will be $7,400. You need this, this, and this, and it adds up to $8,700. So I'm going, oh, that's the largest car repair bill I've ever had. So the question is, am I going to do it? I still owe money on the car because it was a buyout after a lease. I'm the only one that's driven it. But do I want to invest that much money in an old car? So the question I have for you is, do I have a problem? And that's a valid question. Some people might say, of course you do. Maybe, maybe not. But do I have a problem? I'll get back to that. We begin to reclaim the self, the higher self, when we become aware. Aware of what? Of what's happening. What's going on? What am I thinking? What am I feeling? Am I aware, or am I completely lost in my dramas? Most people seem to be caught up in their dramas. If you look around, maybe not all of you here, but most people I see out in the world, turn on the news, everybody's caught up in their drama. And many of us, of course, think, well, I'm not caught up in my drama. I'm a very spiritual person, blah, blah, blah. There's a story from his book, The New Earth, Eckhart Tolle. He talks about, he's riding the tube when he's a student at Cambridge, the tube being the subway in London. And this woman would sit across from him, and both the seats on either side of her would be empty, and she was talking to herself, complaining, accusing, yelling. And everybody thought she was crazy, so nobody would sit by her, because she kept having this ongoing conflict, this complaining and conversation. And so he observed that a few times, and then finally one day, he thinks to himself, I'm so glad I'm not like her. And then the guy next to him gave him a really weird look, and totally realized, oh, I said it out loud. Oh my God, I am like her. We're all like her. Tell me that you don't talk to yourself when you're alone, out loud. That you don't have conversations, sometimes out loud, when you're by yourself. I don't think you do it in front of other people. I've never heard you. Anyway, and if you don't do it out loud, we do it in our heads. We create all these dramas, these stories, and they're there. The thing is, though, are we conscious that that's what we're doing? Are we awake? Do we take the moment to say, what am I thinking about? And that is the what here. What do we need to do? We need to be aware. Well, you don't need to be. You don't have to be. You can choose to be in drama your whole life. But if you want to have a little more peace and be a little more joyous in your life, well, then be aware. Call it conscious presence. And when you have conscious presence, it breaks the identification that you have with the ego, with the body, with the negativity, with illness, with lack, with not good enough, with your stories. Because they are just feelings and thoughts and stories. They're not who you are. They're part of you, but they're not who you are. They're just what's going on in your head. If you are observing, you have to ask the question, am I the person thinking all these thoughts, or am I the observer of these thoughts? Which one is you? So I said the word ego, but what is the ego but its identification with form? The ego is a dysfunctional relationship with the present moment. You're not there. I remember reading a long time ago when I read the Don Juan books by Carlos Castaneda years and years ago, that people would go out in the desert looking for the shaman Don Juan to try to find him. And at one time some travelers came across a guy who seemed to fit that description, and they said to the shaman, we want to learn how to leave our bodies. And the shaman said, you're not even in your bodies. Because if you're not in the present, you're not in your body. Your mind is somewhere else. Identification with form leads us to judgment, where we think we know, but we actually don't. With judgment, we're unable to see the depth of another person, or even our own depth. We're unable to see the meaning of a situation, because we've already formed an opinion about it. We've made a judgment. It makes us blind then to what's really going on. We judge situations as good or bad. Hence my story about my car. Do I have a problem or do I have an opportunity? Which is it? It depends which mind I'm looking at it with. Judgment comes from our need to control that which we cannot control, which we can never control. What other people do, what other people say and feel, our past decisions, what's going on in the world, the future, we don't have control. It does not require me, in looking at my car situation, which mind am I going to see it from, it does not require me to do battle with my ego. It's not a battle. As soon as I'm in battle, the ego has won. It's already over. So if you're thinking hurtful thoughts or fearful thoughts, and at the same time, you're observing yourself thinking and feeling as such, again, you have to ask, well, who's observing? Who's being observed? Awareness of the ego helps us to transcend it, to cease identifying it, so we don't have to fight it. We just need to call it out. Oh, there you are. Observation of what is brings us to the present moment. I was talking to my daughter, Anne. She lives out in Arizona. I was there a couple weeks ago. And she told me a story. She said one morning she woke up and nothing was right. It was just waking up in a bad mood. And then the voice in her head was going, why is your butt so big? Why didn't you do this? Why did you do that? What is going on here? And all these firing these questions at her. And her normal thing would have been to resist that, to say, I'm not going to go into that negative place. But instead, she made a recognition. She recognized that it was just her inner bitch. And so she asked her inner bitch, what is it that you need from me? And so she just listened. She stepped outside of it and just listened. And when that inner voice was through, then she felt at peace. She felt great. And she had an incredible day after that. She's a physical therapist, and she went to see her first patient at an assisted living center. She walked in, she saw the receptionist, and she's seen 100 times. And the receptionist said, oh my gosh, you are so gorgeous. That was what she was greeted with. And then the receptionist went on talking about how beautiful she looked. And the whole day was filled with people complimenting her on how she looked, on her work as a physical therapist. It just was one after another. And then she got a phone call from me, and I had no idea what was going on. And I told her that I was, because of some things with an account that I had my children's name on, I was distributing some money, and she was going to get a few $1,000s. And so money came to her that she totally not expecting. So that just added to it. So what does that tell us? That when she stepped out of that, when she really became her higher self in that moment and just accepted and embraced that inner critic, the inner bitch as she called it, and the universe opened up for her. Later that evening, she went to a full moon ceremony, all women, and she told her story to the women there. Of course, they all understood. So it was a great day. In ego mind, as I said, we have this dysfunctional relationship with reality, with what is, with the present moment. We are at war with what is. In our polarized world today, most of us seem to be at war with, say, one political party or the other. If you're at war with the Republicans or with the Democrats, I have a question. Are you winning? And if political differences are separating you from family and friends, what have you won? What do you get from that? The point here is observe yourself in your being against and stop identifying with it. It's not who you are. Certainly be passionate for your vision for a better world and speak to it. The world you want to live in, the one that's in a million dreams that Corey just sang about. Focus on that. Focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. The more you get upset and speak against, say, the other political party, the more you feed their power. Because that's how things work. Force creates counterforce. It's just like if you criticize somebody for their point of view. Do they say, oh yeah, you're right? No, they dig their heels in and they fight you even more. And it's the same thing energetically. If you have a particular politician or political figure you don't like, the more you hate that person, the more you support them. The more you feed that energy, you're feeding that energy. Instead, envision the leadership that you want. And focus your attention on that. That brings us to the present moment. As your higher self, you know that this world you can envision already exists. It exists within you. It's in your million dreams. And you can't battle your way to get it. You can embrace it. You can be it. So that was the question, what? The next question is who? Who are you? You can choose to be the observer. You can choose to be the higher self. And you do that by disidentifying with thoughts and feelings. They're just thoughts and feelings. In the New Testament, in the Gospel of John, Jesus says, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. That's a, I would say, grossly misinterpreted verse for the last 2,000 years. People think it means that his personality, is the guy, and you must follow him and believe all the things that you were taught in order for you to be saved. But what he's talking about, he's not talking about Jesus the person. He's talking about the I am presence within him. That this I am in him is also in his disciples and in you. And it's only through that I am presence that you find peace, that you find joy. Not through his personality or not through any belief system, but through finding that I am presence in you. The I am is our true self. So that's why I see Jesus as the great example, not as the great exception. In A Course in Miracles, on the same theme, let me read from that. How can I know who I am when I see myself as constantly under attack? Pain, illness, loss, age, and death seem to threaten me. All my hopes and wishes and plans appear to be at the mercy of a world I cannot control. Yet perfect security and complete fulfillment are my inheritance. I have tried to give my inheritance away in exchange for the world I see. But God has kept my inheritance safe for me. My own real thoughts will teach me what it is. My own real thoughts are the inner voice. The still small voice within, the Christ within, which I only find in the present moment. The present moment. It comes to you when you quiet your mind. It comes to you when you become the observer. A Course in Miracles says that the only problem we have is separation, and that problem's already been solved. All you need to do is go inside and meet the presence, and you know that it's solved. You're not separated. But what if I don't like what is? What if I don't like what's going on in my life? Well, now I'm going to quote from A Course of Love. Rather than escape from life, join with it. Love it, love yourself enough to accept yourself. Love will transform a normal, ordinary life into an extraordinary life. Loving exactly who you are in every moment is what will cause the transformation that will end your desire to remove yourself from life. All these frustrations you currently feel have a purpose, to move you through them and beyond them to acceptance. You are not being called to accept what you do not like. You are being called to accept that you don't like what you don't like. Did you get that? Accept that you don't like it. It's okay. Then and only then can you deal with anything from a place of peace. You don't like something, it's okay you don't like it. Be with that. All power to effect change comes from acceptance. Not acceptance of the way things are, but acceptance of who you are in the present moment. So I can say, I don't like not having a car right now. I mean, I'm renting a car, but I don't like not having my own car. So I have to accept that I don't like that. I can accept that the situation is here now, but I'm not going to have the situation forever. So I don't accept the situation as that's life. It's just, it is in the moment, and I feel how I feel. My true self is love. And when I know that my being is love, then my expressions become powerful. When we can get to the state of being the observer and accepting what's going on inside of ourselves, we come to peace, and when we come to peace, we have power. We can accomplish great things. We realize then that we are not powerless victims to whatever happens to us. The solution is already here. It's in your inner voice. My tuition, my feelings. My feelings, you mean that even my anger is part of my intuition? Yes. Every feeling is speaking to me, sending me a message. Every event evokes a message from my higher self. This is the inner voice, also known as my intuition. This is not the same as the many voices that are within, pushing you here and there, striving for control over the world around me, fighting what is, resisting what happens, resisting how I feel. This is the inner voice found in stillness, the one that comes to me when I drop my guard, when I drop my need for control, when I let go of my worries, when I breathe consciously, when I pray or meditate, or when I become the observer, not invested in the dramas in my mind, but non-judgmentally observing my thoughts, my stories, my emotions, recognizing that they are not who I am, recognizing they are what is in this present moment. This brings me to the present moment where I am capable of listening to the inner voice. You hear the inner voice, your intuition, your Christ consciousness, when you are fully present now. It is the voice that I hear when I envision what I truly want, what truly is my own highest good. So in my car saga, I went back and forth. I should look for cars. Oh, should I fix this one? Should I look for a used car, a new car? And it didn't feel right. So I asked myself, finally, or the inner voice asked me, what kind of car do you want? What do you want? I hadn't really decided that. I was focused on what can I get. But the inner voice is saying, no, focus on what you want. So I decided what I wanted. Well, I didn't really decide, it just kind of came to me. I knew what car, I mean, for me, a vehicle is just a vehicle. There's no status thing about it. Cadillac or Chevy, I don't care. As long as I like the car, it feels comfortable, I like the way it looks, I'm good. And it's always been that way. Even though I grew up in a family where everybody always came over to impress the other person when they got a brand new car. It just never took. But anyway, I envision what I want. I'm not saying to anybody what it is, except when I visit a car dealership tomorrow and I ask to drive one, I'm going to do that. Where it will lead, I don't know. How it will turn out, I don't know. I just know what I want. Actually, it's not just what I want, it's what I choose, which is stronger than what I want. This is what I choose. Now the only thing I have to work on is my impatience, because I don't just choose it, I want it now. So I have to let go of that. Now, I already have it, because it's in my mind. I've already accepted it. So I can focus on that. The idea of just accepting and listening came when I flew home from Arizona. I kept getting this notice saying, hey, for $165 you can move up to first class, which is actually really cheap if you look at prices on an airline. Well, I was flying to Dallas and from Dallas to Grand Rapids, and in Dallas they gave me a 41-minute layover. Have you ever been to the Dallas airport? Mm-hmm. It's huge.
Huge.
They have trains there. It's a big horseshoe, and I knew my next plane would be in another terminal. I would have to get on a train and get there. I was in row 18 currently, which means I didn't really have 41 minutes, because it was 41 minutes till the next flight left, which meant I had about 21 minutes, plus the time it took for 17 rows of people to get off the plane before me. So I said, well, maybe I'll take that first class seat just so I can get off the plane as soon as the door opens. So I did. It was great. I sat in that seat before people even got on the plane. The flight attendants asked me if I wanted a drink. I had a glass of water, but I did have a drink. Because you don't have to pay for it. It's first class, I might as well enjoy it, right? The guy next to me had four drinks, 4 Bloody Marys. But he was still standing at the end, so I guess it was okay. I would be knocked out. So one was good enough for me. And I got off the plane. I made it to my next flight in plenty of time. And I got on there, and now I'm in fortunately an aisle seat, which is what I usually like. 2 people are next to me, and the seat in front of me is like right here. I mean, have you flown lately?
Yep.
The seat's like right there. In first class, it was way up there. So I'm looking at that thinking, now I see why people like to fly first class. It feels really cramped here. It didn't feel as cramped before I sat in first class, but now it felt more cramped. So maybe I should do first class more often. So I just sat there and said, just accepted it. So the flight attendant comes up to me later after the plane's filled up, and it wasn't a full flight. She said, would you like to move, sir? I said, well, sure. So where did she put me? Not in first class, but she put me in the row where the escape doors are. So now you got, the other seat's way up there, and nobody else was in the row, just me. So I could stretch out and relax. So it was a great flight home. I knew what I wanted, but I didn't get it wasn't a have to. I just kind of let it go, and I just told myself, it'll work out, it'll be fine. I'll be comfortable, and I was. So that was the who you are being. So how? How do we make that shift? You practice being your higher self. One way you do that is see others without judgment. I'm finding that as I practice that, like relinquish my judgment, that I see people differently. I feel greater acceptance, greater love, greater appreciation. I'm thinking back about a year and a half ago, I was at some kind of festival in Mason, and I saw, how the food trucks are there, a lot of them, it's all grease foods, like not very good for you. I saw this woman, I said, oh, in my mind I'm seeing this older woman buying this terribly greasy food. And the judgment's there. But then I thought, wait a minute, she's probably my age. And how's my diet lately? So there I am projecting, and so I saw her differently after that. That's what we do so often, is we are critical of other people, but it's our own critical voice that we're projecting onto other people. See situations without judgment. Instead of judging, or recognize that you are judging, and step back and watch those thoughts. Take a look at them. Don't judge. Don't even judge your judgments. Just say, oh, there it is again. And take a good look at it. See the ego self without judgment. There is no battle with the ego, because as soon as you are in conflict, you have already lost. You move beyond the ego by embracing it, by looking at it and recognizing it for what it is, that it's the false self. It's what keeps you from being in this present moment. So instead of being driven by the many voices of the ego, reclaim the intuition, the inner voice. We can do that immediately. As soon as you feel upset about something or angry or whatever, you can ask yourself, well, what triggered this? In other words, understand what your triggers are. Your triggers don't belong to other people. They're yours. So if somebody who you think is a narcissist triggers you, then you have to look at your own narcissism. Because if it wasn't in you, you wouldn't be triggered by it. So that person is there to teach you a lesson. And anybody who, my personal one is, if I'm around a person who complains a lot, and in my mind, I'm reacting to the complaining. So in essence, I'm complaining about their complaining in my mind. So I have to recognize that, well, I'm not any different. Yeah, I don't complain out loud usually, but I do it in my head. I mean, what's the difference, right? Same vibration, same energy. So by doing that, I can see it in myself and just be with it. And maybe I could just be with the person who's complaining too. And let them have their complaint. And respond in the best way I can. And then move on. From A Course of Love. And of course, all these things I'm talking about are about control. If I'm triggered by something, it's because I can't control it. What you try to control is what you do not want to know. You do not want to know every time you predetermine in advance of knowing what something is or what it will be. Your predetermination, or you decide, for instance, that a physical symptom is bad. And then you choose to find out what is wrong, in which case your decision that it's bad, rather than your feeling, is only confirmed. When you feel uneasy or uncomfortable about a situation, you determine that you already know that the situation is bad, or is most likely going to be bad. And then you think that through your effort or control, you can alter the situation for the better. Only when you accept that no feelings are bad will you allow yourself to come to know what they truly are. In other words, something comes up, you're triggered, stop. What's this telling me? Like my daughter, asking her inner bitch, what is it that you need from me? Or I can say, what does the situation come to teach me? Or I can just react and get into the drama. In looking at my current situation with the car, I can see this symbolic. Transmission issues, to me, represent an unwillingness or an inability to move forward. I've been living comfortably in the material sense for the last few years. Yet there are areas in my life where I'm not moving forward. Creative things I could be doing. Conversations that really need to occur that I'm not initiating. Actions I could take for my health and well-being that I'm still not doing. So this is an opportunity for me to take a look at that and to move forward. Not only with a car, and maybe a new car is a good thing because it will represent newness in my life. P.T. Barnum, who the movie that Corey referred to from the first song, that's who it's about. He actually has a lot of positive quotes, and one of them is, comfort is the enemy of progress. It doesn't have to be that way, though. Accepting the present moment and taking action from the promptings of the higher self, then we can have our comforts. Just need to pay attention. So what I'm asking you to do is to be alert and realize that nothing comes from the outside, that it's all inside. And so the solution is inside too. First, be aware of your thoughts and feelings and don't judge them. Be aware constantly. I'm doing that throughout the day. Hour by hour, I'm looking at my thought. What am I thinking about? What am I feeling? And I'm stepping back from it, not allowing myself to spend too much time in the drama or whatever's going on in my head. Second, be yourself, your higher self. Observe and accept that the ego is there. Those thoughts are there, yet don't become it, don't identify with it. Just recognize that it's there. It's part of you. You've created it, but you are the self. And then third, practice. And you practice by doing honest reflection, by turning things around. I like the book by Byron Katie, Loving What Is, and her four, actually 5-part steps. One of them is, who am I being when I think this way? And then who would I be if I didn't have these thoughts? That's a good question to ask. As for me, I'm going to go test drive cars tomorrow. And I'm going to find the one that I choose, and I'm going to let the process flow. And thank you for listening to me today. We're going to a beautiful song that he wrote that is on the same topic.
It's called The Voice of Love. Hush now, can you hear it? The whisper of spirit, the voice within your heart. Listen, can you find it? Be once more reminded of who you truly are. Go within to the place where words of life begin. Here now in the silence, beyond the noise and violence, the divisive world out there. home, my dear, here within, in the place where two are one again. Hear the voice, it is your own, the deepest voice you've always known, the sweetest song you've always sung, language of light in angelic tongue. Your heart's true voice, a heavenly harmonica, the voice of love. No, now here in this place, this beautiful bliss space, the voice of all is yours. Let truth provide you, let its wisdom guide you on your journey evermore. Still within, in the place where two are one again. Hear the voice, is your own, the deepest voice you've always known, the sweetest song you've always sung, language of light in angelic tongue. Hear your voice rise from within, words of the one you've always been, that sweetest song you'll always sing, laughing in love with everything. Your heart's true voice, a heavenly harmonica, the voice of love. Your heart's true voice, the place where earth joins heaven above, the voice of love, the voice of love, the voice of love.
Really beautiful. I say that so much to you. Thank you so much, Bill and Corey. I love that line, "Welcome home."
Yeah.
It just really
Yeah.
felt good. Thank you. Thanks to both of you. We'll take these next few moments, if you would, to bring our awareness to all of the gifts and blessings in our lives. Fill ourselves up with gratitude and appreciation for all those things that we're aware of and some that we're yet to become aware of. And gratitude for each and every one of us, for all of the generosity that you give to the fellowship. And we'll have John come around for the collection. And if you do have anyone that you'd like to add in prayer today, and also
multiplying our tithes and offerings, I joyously give, knowing I always have enough to share and to spare.
And if you would please go within one more time as we hold close to our hearts all those who are mentioned in the basket today, all those people, beautiful beings, our Mother Earth, situations, conditions. May we see them as what we want for them. May we see them in love and light. May all those mentioned in the basket today open their hearts and allow all of our extended love in, so that they might become aware of who they truly are. And together we say, and
So it is.
Thank you. We just have a few announcements today. Again, another reminder that we have the alternative holiday sale coming up. This is a big fundraiser for the fellowship, so all of your support is very welcome. It's Friday, November 14th from 5 to 9 p.m. and Saturday the 15th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Edgewood United Church on Hagedorn Road in East Lansing. Lots of vendors this year. I think Samantha said more than ever, between 50 and 60.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So it should be really good. And lots of fun music going on as well. Also, Healing Movements every Monday with our Reverend Julie at 4 p.m. here in the building. And the Death Cafe for November is also on November 15th. It's a Saturday, 2 p.m. here in this building. So thank you again, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Corey. Please give Corey another. Such important concepts, because these kinds of things help us navigate through our world in more joy and peace. Yes, Jean?
This is the 40th anniversary of WIDA, Women in the Arts. It's at Trowbridge.
Oh, that's the weekend just before.
Yeah, this is this weekend.
This
It's
weekend.
coming up.
Okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
It starts on Friday and Saturday, so it's a
Okay.
big
So
festival.
lots going
Yeah,
on.
there's a lot of venues too.
Thank you, Jean.
And the Women's Sister Chorus sings.
Very nice.
It's at Edgewood Church
It's the
on,
same-
on Hagedorn.
It's the same church, yeah.
Same
Same
place
place.
we're gonna do.
Yeah, and I think it gets confused a lot in people's minds, so. Women in the Arts is this weekend. Alternative holiday sale is the following. Thank you. Okay, so let us join together in a big peace circle and say our closing blessing.
On earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment, to live each moment, peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God is within us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And that's the truth. Good. So, Luann, come again. It's good to see you. Corey, that was just. That could be my favorite. I can't say that because then you always say come up with another one, but that one.
Yeah, I couldn't really hear myself, so I'll take your word for it.
Oh, that was. Oh my gosh, so good.
Take your word for it.
Yeah, I think it was just the one. Just the one. She had a hard time hearing, but
And see, usually Mary Malloy will say that.